Okay.
The first question is, what is one thing you would like to change about yourself?
I would like to be better at staying in touch with people and having better communication with friends and family and being able to like maintain and nurture those relationships.
Okay. Suppose you succeeded in accomplishing this change. How would things be different for you? What would you be doing, thinking, or feeling as a result of this change?
Um, I would feel like I had better relationships with people. I would be talking to them more on the phone and or texting or just reaching out to see how they're doing. I would use try to use like either phone or email or just like reaching out to say like happy birthday or congratulations or something like that, and just being able to just give more of time and effort to other people. I especially want to reconnect with like my mom, who I haven't like spoken to in a really long time because I didn't grow up with her. So I would like to establish a better relationship with her and my father. And since I don't live in the Northeast anymore and I live in Texas, I'd like to try to nourish those relationships, friendships that I have back in the Northeast.
Um, what would be the payoffs or benefits to you if you made this change?
Um, I would have just closer relationships. I would be able to talk to like have a better conversation with like my mom and my father, and I would just like I grew up like feeling like very independent. So and part of that I think made me kind of establish myself as like a very independent person, and I kind of pushed maybe some people away. And so the payoff would be that I would bring back those people in my life and just maintain and nourish those relationships. And it would be really good for future like if I wanted to get a job or something like that, being able to keep those contacts. I guess you'd call that like networking or something like that. But like more than that aspect, it would be more to have established a really good relationship with my friends and family.
What would be some of the risks to you or others if you made this change?
I guess the risk would just be that people would know that I was making a change, and so how people would look at me from that. I think it would be really easy to start off doing this change, but what would be really hard would be maintaining it. So, like, if I didn't maintain this behavior, then I would let people down or disappoint them. I would go from like, staying in touch to again just kind of like disappearing, which is what I do. And I think I would end up hurting people or disappointing people. So the biggest risk would be starting something that I can't maintain.
Okay, number five. Looking at where you are now and where you'd like to be, what are the steps along the way to get you from here to there?
I think it's a pretty easy thing to do. Like technically wise, it's just a matter of me picking up the phone, texting, FaceTiming, emailing, and on paper, it is an easy thing to do. But I think it's more than on paper. It's a behavior. It's like something that I have to like reintroduce into like, you know, into my lifestyle. And so I'm not really like, I don't like phones and I don't like technology, and I kind of like my time. And like it's just the behavior change would be like, okay, making time and effort to pick up the phone and like talk to people more and see how they're doing and making an effort. And so the steps, like the technical steps, would be like remembering everyone's birthday and people's birthday and just emailing them and or texting them on their birthday. And then the behavioral thing would be just really trying to like nurture those relationships and making more of an effort to make the call and send that email or whatever.
Identify resources, skills, people, knowledge that you would need to use or acquire to attain your goal.
I think they would be kind of like some thought and behavioral modifications. Like I would have to start telling myself a different story rather than saying, like, telling myself I'm too busy, to make that call, or that they're too busy, or there's just too much going on, rather than saying those things. Like, have a different narrative, and, like, I guess stop making excuses for why I'm not reaching out in the way that I should be. And I think I would need some encouragement, like, from other people, and some like positive reinforcement, kind of like, this, like, why am I doing this, kind of like, even though I know it's a good thing to keep in touch, it's just like, I guess I need to know that, like, there's a reason for it, and the reason for it really is so that I don't feel so alone, and then I have more of a network, and I maintain those.
So kind of like a support group kind of
Yeah, exactly. Being able to, yeah, like, I'm probably a support group for for communicating with people.
thing. Okay, so number 8. How would you evaluate progress toward this outcome?
Um, I think the best way would probably be to keep a log. So, kind of, like, make a list of, like, people that I need to stay in touch with, and kind of log every time that I do, reach out and send a text message or an email or someone, or how much time I spend talking to, like, my dad, or how much time I spend talking, like, to my mom. And right now I don't talk to my mom at all. So I would, like, another thing that I would be measuring would be the feelings that I get when I, like, whatever anxieties I feel over, like, talking to somebody or reestablishing that line of communication. So it's kind of, yeah, logging those emotions that I feel and seeing whether or not, like, they increase or decrease over time.
Okay, and we have the miracle question.
Mm-hmm.
Assume you were sleeping and a miracle happened. The problem was no longer a problem for you at all. It was solved while you slept. Only you don't know that because you were sleeping when it happened. How would you know the problem had been solved?
My phone would be ringing off the hook, I I would be just talking to old friends, and it wouldn't be such a big deal. It'd just be like, hey, and more than anything, I would have, like, my mom would call, and I wouldn't feel like, I haven't talked to this woman in, like, 30 years, kind of thing. It would be like, it'd be comfortable. It would be easy, and it would be something that is done, like, routinely, like once, twice a week or something. And, same thing, like, with my dad. Like, right now, like, I don't have a great, we're so different. We don't communicate, like, really well, but, like, we would get to a point where, like, we would talk all the time, and it would be pleasant to talk to, to each other. So yeah, that's how I'd know.
So how would you know, like, yourself? Do you notice anything in yourself that you would think?
Yeah, I think I would. I mean, I think I wouldn't feel, even though I do this, like, to myself, I do feel, a sense of, like, being alone. But it is because I'm an introvert myself. And so I think I wouldn't feel that way so much. I'd feel like, I've got a really strong network of people around me that that I reach out to routinely, and they reach out to me, and we talk all the time, and it's just a really strong network of people. Whereas I'm sure I do have that, but I know that I need to make more of an effort. Otherwise, people wouldn't make more of an effort. Once I do that, though, I know that there's like I have a strong network behind me.
Yeah, and I really think that that goal is really definitely attainable, and if you take like baby steps to doing it, you could definitely reach that goal, of having that, and if you want it, then
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
yeah,
Yeah, so baby steps.
baby steps.
um, all right, is that it?
Yeah, I think
All right. Yeah.